Sim Racing Dan here with ISRA League's Grand Touring Championship, Season 4. This is Race 6 at Texas Road. Coming down on the front stretch, the pace car heads into the pits, and we're green flag for the first Roval race, and only Roval race, of the 4th season of Grand Touring Championship here at ISRA. I didn't get a great start off the line, and here is Jill coming in alongside. He makes the pass ahead of me into the big deep braking zone. Left-hander, there's trouble ahead, there's a spin, there's a wreck. Jills collects in the wreck, and I get past him. That puts me running last among the non-damaged Corvettes, I do believe. Nope, there's John Rasutos right behind me. Almost lose it there on that right hand on the chicane. Kept it together. Here I am left foot braking now for this race. Behind John Guzman by about a second as all the Corvettes make the left-hander onto the oval portion of the track. And here we are. That's a tough left-hander because you want to get on the gas, but there's a bump right there, so you have to take it real easy or else you'll spin your car. And look at what 1 second looks like at 165 miles an hour. That's 1.1 between me and John ahead of me. .4 now, 1.5. He's got some good speed down on the oval section. Down into second gear. A little bit wide on the left-hander, but not too bad. Not bad at all. Big 180-degree right-hander into the chicane. And here I am now in 7th position, about to take 6th as, well, that's David Serrois making, I think, the first mistake I've ever seen him make. You can see me fighting the wheel as I come up onto the oval section, trying to get all that power down without turning the car too much. John just 0.2 seconds behind me. I'll take the inside line, please, but it looks like John also has more speed than I do on the oval. Not enough, though. It looks like he'll still be behind me as we enter the braking section, and here we go. Oh, but I went in a little bit too hot and a little offline, keeping it just on the gravel. Not too bad, but I do lose the position to John Rasutos there. So, looking ahead in the standings, we've got Timothy Stoll there in 4th, 7 seconds ahead of me. Then John Kuslan for 0.6 seconds, 4.5. And then John Rasutos 2 seconds ahead of me. Davis Waugh coming up behind me at just 1.5 or so seconds behind me. Oh, looks like John Rasutos has a lot of trouble on the left-hander. Locked the brakes a little bit. Cost him about a half a second there. Not a whole lot to say here on the oval section. There will be exciting moments, but that wasn't one of them. Someone had a big off. That looks like Timothy Stoll. Not sure where he was just now that he came off of the grass. I guess he made a really tight left-hand spin there. So a couple mistakes being made all around here as we settle into our pace. Oh, I go a little bit wide, but not too bad actually. I kept that going pretty decently. Timothy Stoll there having some troubles on the left-hander. That's good for me. More draft for me to take advantage of. David Swa now 0.3 seconds behind me. I give him the inside line because there's no sense in fighting David. That's a battle I'm going to lose. I'd much rather have him ahead of me, draft off him, and follow him through maybe some traffic here. There's also always the possibility that someone will let him by and bleed off a little bit too much speed and let me by too accidentally. Looks like there's a good battle going on between Timothy Stoll there and John Rasudos. Let's see how David Swa mixes in with that. Right now I'm just sort of on board for the ride, letting things shake out. I'm keeping up with the other drivers, at least a decent chunk of the pack, so my time is not bad. In fact, everyone was separated by 1.5 seconds here, since there are only 4 real turns at this track. And Sean Cuthbertson is in the pits. I believe he took some damage, and he's going to spend quite a bit of time in the pits there. Getting to the braking a little bit late. David, looks like he made another mistake there. Entered the turn 1 awfully slow, or rather wide. Not having to lift this time around. If you don't get the chicane angle entry just right, then you have to do a little lift to make it through. Going real tight on the entrance there, but a good exit, so I think that is probably the fastest way through that I've found. Heading now up onto some traffic on the oval. David Swa taking the apron. I hadn't noticed that. Is he headed for the pits? David Swa headed for the pits. Early pit strategy. He must be banking on a yellow flag coming out and not taking tires. I'm actually a little bit surprised that he can pull that off, although it's only a 50-minute race. But he must just be barely within his fuel window to be able to pit here on lap 7. And it looks like Karl Mumbauer went off there. And so I am going to pass him. Oh, I lock it up a little bit. Almost have troubles and run into Marty. Still having issues even now in the season getting used to just how slowly those late models go through turns. Without the brake lights to help me get an indicator, I just sort of try to feel it out, and I always find myself feeling it out a little bit fast. Okay, so we're jumping ahead now 2 laps, and I follow Jerry Knitter here into turn 1 because I didn't have the speed, but Jerry sort of meanders around the track and doesn't let me by cleanly, so I go on the outside. Coming up on Brent, getting past Brent, but gonna follow Alex into turn 3 of the inner road track here. Past Alex, and then, oh, I lock it, keep it pretty much together. Again, I actually hadn't intended to try to pass Sean Jury under braking, but I got to my normal brake point, and Sean was ahead of me, and I realized that I was going to end up running into him if I followed my normal braking. Didn't cost me too much there, but definitely some tire wear. And a pretty good scare. Looks like Julio's probably the leader in the late models, getting past him as we head into turn 1. Taking a little bit wide on the entry, but that's okay because it's all about the exit. Jumping ahead now again to lap 17. Here's my pit stop. Right now I'm still in 6th position. Waiting on tires, I believe, at this point. And they'll be just about done. There we go. And I'm off. Getting past Timothy Stoll, but it looks like he was a lap down. Also past Luke Poulin, although he had a stop-and-go penalty there. So it looks like he was pitting and also serving... Well, he has to serve his penalties separately. So he is not really in competition quite yet. Looking ahead, I see David Serrois, 13.5 seconds ahead of me. As you recall, he pitted early there at lap 7, so that is real standing there with David Serrois. And jumping ahead once again, this is into, what is this, lap 20, can't tell if that's 28 or 20 or 26. Anyway, right around there. Now I am 2.4 seconds behind John Kuzlin. John's in 4th position, I'm in 5th. And I've got John Rizzuto's just about 3 seconds behind me. John Kuzlin getting a little bit mixed up with some traffic there. V8 traffic of RC Vegas. Slowing him up. Will it slow him up for another turn? It looks like it does. He takes the inside line, but definitely loses a lot of time on that. Now just I'm 0.7 seconds rather behind John Kuzlin, so that was a huge gain in time for me. Coming up on the late model traffic, not going to try to draft too much off Tim here because we do have quite a bit more speed on the late models. I don't want to scare them or create a bad situation. I hope you're listening with headphones on. If you, I'm sure that you're not hearing the car effects as loud as I am right now, but that's some pretty good stereo effect as they drive on by. Looks like it's lap 29, and so that puts us, there we go, with 14 minutes remaining in the race. So this race recap is going to take you all the way through that 14 minutes as I try to chase down John Kuzlin and see if I can take 4th position. This was a 50-minute race here at Texas Road Course. It's the shortest race of the season. Passing John Middleton there. Taking his 2nd season in the late model, and I think he's being pretty successful at it. Oh, once again, traffic potentially giving me an advantage here. If I can get by Dan Morera, let's see. I take the inside line as he goes on the outside and under braking. Oh, I passed him well before braking, so that was a great clean pass there. I think he let me by a little bit, though. Looks like, once again, there's some late model traffic ahead of John Kuzlin that he has to deal with. And it's going to slow me up, too, as I... Once again, you know, I didn't intend to take that outside line on Dan Morera, but I once again misjudged the speed and had the safe line on the outside. Normally they say don't pinch the late models like that because they do like to run wide. Don holding it together nicely though. Coming up on Stefan Miller in his V8 supercar, Ford Falcon, and the real question is, will I pass him before the brake zone? And the answer looks like it's going to be yes, because they brake really early. And there it is. Oh, that was close, let me tell you, and I just barely held it together. But it looks like John Kuslin had a little bit of trouble too. John Rizzuto's 4.5 seconds behind me now. Let's get a quick update on him. I believe I passed him while he was in the pits, so you didn't miss anything not seeing that. And 2 seconds behind John Kuslin as we enter the oval portion. So those gains that I had gotten before seem to have gone away, as I've lost a good second on him since then. And looking down on the standings, Eric Palacio is just 11 seconds behind me. But with about, 12 or so, 11 minutes left in the race, he's not going to catch up with me, I don't think. And Alex Ulleri here not giving me any trouble in traffic, I don't think, because I'll have to follow him through here. But I wasn't really up to him until this point anyway. And I wait for him, didn't want to risk it on the chicane, and that looks like it was a good call because he took up most of it. I do a little bit of a lockup there on turn-in. I found, although, that the turning in with this car, unfortunately, until we get the new tire model, is fastest if you just loosen up the rear a little bit. You don't really slide it through the turn the way you do with some other cars. You just sort of slide it into the entry and then ride it out normally. It's that little extra bit of rotation that gets you through faster. I'm on the hunt now, 3.1 seconds behind John, so I've lost some kind of massive time here. Just hoping that this traffic will mess him up, and it looks like it will a little bit. But not too much as he gets past RC without too much trouble. I elect to go slow here once again at chicane entry and then have the big speed on the exit. Coming up to RC Vegas, I'm going to follow him through, but take an inside line on to the oval and get on the gas as soon as I can. I have to say, every time I watch this from TV view, I'm surprised, well, not surprised, just impressed that, just like on TV, it doesn't look like I'm trying very hard. But even though I'm not nearly as fast as some others, I'm definitely pushing the car to my limits. Checking out that nice bounce of the seat, matching up with the simulator, the screen, and also the TV view showing my suspension getting a good workout there. And John definitely got slowed down there. I'm 1.2 seconds behind. So traffic playing into my favor for the moment. That can always change. You never know what's going to happen. John electing to go on the inside there against Marty. And that's probably good for me once again. And here we begin lap 35. Hopefully I'll check the time again soon, but I think we're probably around 5 minutes left in the race. Maybe about 7. I would guess about 7 minutes probably. Just quickly glancing at my fuel gauge, I've got 6.5 gallons left. That's going to be plenty of fuel, running about a half a gallon per lap. So I should finish with around 3 gallons left. A little over what I need, but I'd always rather be over than have to make another pit stop. Oh, and getting onto the oval right behind John now. 0.7 seconds behind. This is the closest I've been behind him, I think, on the oval. One second behind, so he definitely has the speed on the oval. I'm going to have to beat him on the inside, on the road portion of the track. And these two late models up ahead might just help me do that, although they could just as easily get in my way. So let's see what happens here. We've got Ryan and Brent ahead, and John doesn't risk it, so that puts me right smack behind John. John going for the less comfortable line into the chicane. I go for a better one, hoping that the exit speed is what's going to get me through. He gets past Brent, but I don't. That's pretty huge for him. But there's another late model. That's Don Norris once again ahead. So entering 0.9 seconds behind. That's basically a wash from last lap. And then just a 0.1 behind where it was before. Not too bad though, with all that traffic navigation. Could have gone very, very wrong. Hitting 175 miles an hour at, I think I actually hit 176 at my fastest drafting off someone on the oval section. Quite a good amount of speed for the Corvette. Getting a pretty good, slightly slidey exit there, but I think I had some good speed on the exit, and once again we've got some traffic slowing things up. Good for me once again, and we look like we're going to be going 3 wide, splitting the traffic. This is the kind of the opposite of the way we agreed that we should be lined up, but that's just the way things turned out at the last turn. Getting some draft off Adam here. Then moving around him. Braking from 171 miles an hour down to 60, down to about 48 miles an hour in that short span. That must be a heck of a braking zone when you're really in the car and feeling those G's on you. .6 seconds now behind John. Let's see how I am when we enter the oval part. Looking pretty good. 0.5 seconds now behind John as we enter the oval. Drafting is going to be key on this section in order for me to keep up with him. Oh, I missed. I just checked the time. This is not the last lap, so we've got a couple more to go. John Rossuto is having fallen way behind in traffic, so at this point, it's a battle for 4th here. I haven't seen 4th place since Spa, my highest ranked finish so far this season with 3 DNFs. And in fact, the last one being just at the previous race at Mo Sport, with, as you recall, Timothy getting a little bit off and giving me a knock through turn 2. Ooh, lots of traffic giving some problems here. I almost run into John there. Didn't expect him to brake quite that much. Locked it up. But now it's 2 V8s, 2 Corvettes coming down the oval section. Trying to get some draft off the very large Ford Falcon here as John goes around the long way. Getting plenty of draft. I'm still holding 172 miles an hour. 171. Then braking down for a third, second. And whoops, got a little bit too aggressive on that turn. Hit the grass, but kept it together, pointed the right direction. Nevertheless, lost a good second on John in that little incident. So at this point, I'm pretty much throwing in the hat, just hoping maybe something will happen. As always, I push till the very end, because you just never know when something's going to go wrong for your competitor, and totally right for you. And when those things happen, every second can count. If they're 10 seconds ahead of you, a good spin off track into the grass can cost them 10 seconds, but if you weren't pushing and you let them get 11 seconds ahead, then they could get it back on ahead of you. Alright, last lap now. John, a huge 2 seconds ahead of me. Very little chance of anything happening here unless traffic plays a major part or John screws up in a really fantastic way. He's going on the inside with Chris Coe giving me the inside line since he sees that I'm vying for position here, and he's not at all, with Evgeny being several seconds behind him. Going on the outside of Tim McLeish at turn exit. And I managed to make up a good second right there, as I am 0.9 seconds behind John as we head down onto the final trip down the front straight. And it's going to be a 5th place finish for me, which is not bad. The top 5 is a great place to be. See there, giving the high five for my 5th place finish. So solid race. It felt good, frankly, just to finish after so many failures recently. But I definitely can't complain with a top 5. It was a great race, and you know, finishing within a second of John is always a great way to finish when it's close like that. So, as always, thanks for watching, and I'm not going to run through the standings quite yet because I'm making this video, as you know, a couple weeks late, and we have run a race at Silverstone, so I'm going to update you with the standings after the Silverstone race.